Yay, guys, what's up? This is hhhguy2004 alongside my dad, torinogtguy1969.
Hi, guys.
What's going on, Dad?
Not much. Just running to the market to get something to eat.
I got an idea about what you could talk about.
Okay.
Just talk about your life watching professional wrestling. Tell the folks here how old you were when you started watching wrestling.
I'm 58 years old now. I've been watching professional wrestling since I was 6 or 7. I started watching professional wrestling when Vince McMahon's father had WWF.
You want to put up the window? Probably better put up the window. The window, yeah. Alright, so you watched it when Vince's father was running.
Yeah, and it was a regional promotion.
That was when it was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yes, there was just a regional promotion for the Northeast.
Okay, actually it was in Washington, D.C., I believe. It actually started in D.C. and then it worked its way up into New York, up into Madison Square Garden, and then they used to come to Boston.
Well, he brought his promotion to Concord quite a bit.
Yeah.
The Everett Arena.
Yeah, and the Everett Arena in Concord. And who did you used to see?
Chief J. Strongbow.
What's that big fat ass motherfucker you used to see? That like the 600-pound dude.
Haystacks Calhoun.
There you go, buddy. And then Dad started taking me.
Killer Kowalski.
There you go. You saw Killer Kowalski. There you go.
Yeah.
That is, of course, the trainer of one Triple H, the home. New Hampshire's own Triple H.
So I've been watching wrestling for quite a while.
Yeah. What do you think about the evolution of Vince McMahon and his vision of what wrestling is today?
Well, I think that he's taken it to a lot more heights, a lot bigger heights than his father ever thought they would be going, you know?
What era did you think was better? Your era or the Attitude Era?
You know, I like them all. You know, they all had their good points. You know.
Yeah.
And, so, you know, I just enjoy watching professional wrestling. You know, it's sports entertainment.
Who's one of your favorite wrestlers of all time?
Let me see now. Of all time?
Yep.
Oh, jeez, that's good. There's been quite a few, you know.
Yep.
One of my favorites back in the day was Chief J. Strongbow, which we all know now was Italian. He didn't have a speck of Indian blood in him.
Yeah. So your favorite of all time probably would be the likes of, like, I don't know, Killer Kowalski.
Yeah. Well, he was a mean son.
Andre the Giant, God rest his soul.
Yeah. Killer Kowalski was a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah. I hear it's rumored that he used to train his opponents how to do the claw in the stomach, but he never taught him how to do it, how you could actually kill a man by doing it.
Yeah, it's true.
Who's your favorite star of, like, not wrestler-wise, but, you know, like, who puts on a good show? You know, like,
Well, Shawn Michaels, you know.
Shawn Michaels is a great professional wrestler.
Yeah, he's a great performer.
I don't put him in that category. I put him in the category of he's number one. Guys like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay.
Hulk Hogan, like guys like Hogan.
Yeah.
You liked Hogan. Dad used to take me to the old Boston Garden.
The old rat-infested Boston Garden.
The old rat-infested Boston Garden, yep. We used to see the lights. I remember there used to be this, like, when you used to go to the bathroom there, they used to do the interviews right near the bathroom. And I remember one time Dad took us down there and I had to go to the bathroom, or we went and got a soda because everything was, like, congested right there where you got your concessions, your T-shirts, you know, everything. It was right in that little area right near the bathroom. And they used to do the interviews. And I remember this one time we went to that area, and the Legion of Doom was there with Mean Gene Oakland. I remember watching an interview.
I remember once taking his sister, Steven.
Yes, my sister Nicole. We went to the WrestleMania 10 Revenge Tour, and it was Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. It was coming off the heels of their WrestleMania battle at WrestleMania 10 in Madison Square Garden.
And we saw Bret Hart in the hallway being interviewed.
That was actually a little. I think that was when we were a little. I think that was when we were. That was another time.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
and then during this encounter, my sister actually got her arm broken. Bret Hart was so excited from winning the match, he took a hold of her arm and squeezed a little too hard, and broke her arm.
And she almost got his sunglasses too.
She almost got his sunglasses, but she didn't. But those are the memories that I remember, and. Yeah, a lot of people, I've said this in another video, a lot of people were like, did you sue the WWF? Did you go after Bret Hart?
No.
And my dad didn't really give a shit to sue. He was more concerned about getting my sister to the hospital and getting it set and see what was wrong with it, instead of trying to do that.
And I was excited she had the chance to slap Bret the Hitman's hot hands, you know?
Yeah, and I remember, I've been to so many events with my dad. I remember I saw the late, great Macho Man Randy Savage. I've seen stars like the Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
That was down in Manchester, I believe.
At the Douglas,
Is that Nashua?
No, that was in Manchester at the arena down there.
Oh, okay. It was a steel cage match, I know that. I think it was Hulk Hogan against... maybe Hogan wasn't on the card, I don't remember. It was Boss Man was in the main event, I can't remember who he was against. But I remember it was a steel cage match. I've been to Monday Night Raws with my dad. I remember one of my first Monday Night Raws was way back in 1997. It was around December. I know it was around Christmas time, because I remember there was a segment with Santa and stuff. And I remember this night, on this particular night in Durham, New Hampshire, Stone Cold Steve Austin took the Intercontinental title, supposedly, and threw it off the bridge.
Yeah, that was down in Durham.
And yeah, that was down in Durham at the Whittemore Center and on the University of New Hampshire campus. I've been to so many events with my dad. Monday Night Raws down at the Verizon. I remember seeing an event with my dad when Triple H first came back from his quadriceps tear, his first one back in 2002. And he went up against Kurt Angle.
That was a house show.
We also saw Stone Cold there against Scott Hall. It was right before WrestleMania 18. It was right before that. And I remember... Dad, do you remember what happened at that event?
Which one was that?
That was the one that we saw Kurt Angle versus Triple H.
Yeah. He told Kurt...
Who was at ringside? So let's start off with
Triple H's cousin.
Triple H's nephew.
Triple H's nephew. And he told Kurt, get your ass in the ring or else I'll get my nephew out in here to kick your ass.
Yep. Just hold on a minute, Dad. We're going to finish this up.
Yeah.
And,
believe it or not, my brother's the one that got me into wrestling.
Yeah, but he don't watch it no more. My family used to watch it. It's mainly me, my dad, and my best friend, Sean. And my newest buddy, Denbo, who is up in Maine. I went to Job Corps with him. He has a love of professional wrestling. We've all loved this business of professional wrestling. I remember we went to this Monday Night Raw in Manchester, New Hampshire as well. And the main event was The Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match. It was an all-time classic. One of my favorite live matches I've ever seen. Been to so many. I've seen stars like Eddie Guerrero, The Undertaker, Batista, John Cena.
Oh, don't forget...
I've seen the Immortal Hulk Hogan. I met the Immortal Hulk Hogan in Concord, New Hampshire with my father. Do you remember that, Dad?
Yeah, with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
And Brooke was doing her tour for her new CD.
Yep.
You met them at the Steeplegate Mall.
Yeah, and his bitch wife, Linda.
Yeah.
And then we went to WrestleMania this past year. What was your thoughts on WrestleMania,
I loved
Dad?
WrestleMania.
What was your favorite part?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. There's so many, you know. Just being there was, what, a record-breaking crowd?
78,363 fans, to be exact.
Yeah, and if they it's 363, yep.
No, 663.
Yep. Yeah, if we hadn't been there, there'd only been 660.
Yep. So, yep, that's pretty much...
I've just enjoyed, I do like the way...
Do you remember Vince as an announcer?
Yes, I do, yep.
He was a great announcer, I thought. Yep. Well, who is your favorite announcer, wrestling-wise? Like, play-by-play guy, other than good old JR Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler? If you had to pick another team.
Let me see.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
And Gorilla Monsoon.
And Gorilla Monsoon.
And then Jesse the Body Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon.
And Jesse the Body and Vince were a good team.
Yep. And then I think they were actually a three-man team for a while. And then you had Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler for a while.
Remember watching the match we saw it on demand the other day when Shane did the announcing?
Yeah, Shane was on the announce team for a while. He didn't do a too bad job with James E. Cornette.
Yep.
All right, well, we're up to about 11 minutes now, so this is a pretty good video. Yep. I'm glad to get your thoughts, torinogtguy1969. Yep. Do you have any closing words for everybody here? Yeah,
I just say enjoy the matches that you see, and if you have kids and they enjoy it, take them to the events, because it's something they'll never forget. That's that's it.
Yeah. Let me see if I have any more questions for you. What do you think of the current state of the WWE?
I think it's going in the right direction. I like the entertainment value. It's just that they know who's going to win, just like they did back in my era. They knew who's going to win, but entertainment-wise, I think it's about the same as it was back 50 years ago. I enjoy it as much now as I did way back then in '72 when I started going.
What do you think about the chances of a new WWE title? What do you think?
I don't think that's going to happen. I
think it needs to happen.
What do you mean, them combining them?
No, I think a new belt.
Oh, a new belt, yeah. Yeah, I think it needs to be a new belt, yeah.
Okay.
But as far as combining the titles, I don't think that should be,
Now, what do you think about independent wrestling? I know you don't watch too much of it. I try to fill you in as much as I can.
I go to some events with you where you teach.
Yes, we used to go to Chaotic Wrestling. The Boston Brothers V2 know a lot about the Chaotic Wrestling scene. We went to SmackDown, and Straight Edge Brian Fury was on SmackDown with Oompa Eli Macropolis, and they went up against Ryback on SmackDown. You can see that match. The Boston Brothers V2 were there. What do you think about the current state of TNA?
I enjoy it because I think there's a little bit more wrestling.
Basically, you think TNA gives you something WWE doesn't, and WWE pretty much gives you something that TNA doesn't.
Yeah, they kind of,
they balance each other out a little bit.
Yeah, there's more wrestling, I think, in TNA.
Who's your favorite in TNA?
Cowboy James Storm, I guess.
Sorry about your damn luck.
And Kurt Angle, he's pretty good too.
And A-Double. What do you think about A-Double, Austin Aries?
You know what? When he first came in, I did not like him at all. But I've had to change that, and I like him now. He seems to be a pretty decent wrestler too.
Okay. Now, what do you think about AJ Styles and this whole drunken thing, whatever it is?
I don't know. I think it was all cooked up as part of the storyline.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You know, I get into it just
If you
as much
had
as the
anything to
next
say
guy,
to
you know?
anybody about, like, people